Hi everyone, this is Karen Bonner bringing you Make Your Morning today on this Wednesday, 21st October. I had to check there. Really excited to bring today's topic to you, which is all about journaling, keeping a journal, why that's important or why it's useful for you. I'm just going to give it a moment or two because we're just a little bit early today. So just want to make sure that everybody can jump on who wants to, can see somebody with me live. So just type away in the comments box, let me know that you're here. It's always great to see people on the session live. So really appreciate you joining me for this early morning session. So as I said, we'll give it till 7 and then we will get started. So hope everyone is good today. I'm really looking forward to talking to you about journaling because it's something that has been really useful for me. So it's always great to talk about specific things each day that I really enjoy doing or that I found really useful. And I think we're over the 20 mark now with the Make Your Morning session. So if you haven't seen some of the rest of the episodes, do go on to my YouTube channel, Karen Bonner, you will find it at, and you'll be able to see the rest of the videos there if you're needing some ideas. And I think that's us on 7 o'clock, which is perfect. So I'll get started. So when people hear journaling, they often think that kind of Dear Diary, they think, oh, it's just keeping a diary like I did when I was young. And actually for me, it's really funny because when I kind of reflected back before doing this session, it's keeping a diary when you're young is really encouraged. So not just your diary to tell you, oh, what day you're going to this event or this thing for work, or to remind you of what you've got to do, but actually keeping a diary which is all about your feelings and what's been going on in your life and a bit of a reflective practice. And it's something that I would say is more and more popular now in adults, but probably for the majority of people, actually keeping that regular daily journal isn't necessarily a habit that's absolutely instilled. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I do it and what I've seen are some of the benefits as well. So first of all, how do we make it easy to keep a journal? So the first thing I would say is buy a separate journal or create a specific space that you're going to journal each day. So a little book like this can be great. Get them from local suppliers, obviously online, etc. But it keeps everything in one place. I also quite like to use my iPad because I've got one that you can write on too, so it kind of keeps it all in one place as well. So that's one thing, get a specific place first of all to journal. The second is do it at the same time every day. So like any habit, I do believe if you regularly practice the habit at the same time every day, it makes it easier to embed because it's not oh, when will I do this? When will I fit this in? Actually, as part of my morning routine, I'm going to journal for 5 minutes. And it becomes part of your morning routine at a specific time. And that's certainly what it's become for me. So what I'll do is I'll share what I write, if you like, on a daily basis. So morning, as I said, it's all about helping me to start my day, a bit like these sessions here. And I focus on 3 things. So the first thing is my intention. In the positive or the present tense, how I want to feel. So I am calm, I am productive, I am making an impact to the people I'm working with. I am relaxed. So the next few days I'm having a bit of time off on holiday. So very much going to be about relaxation, recharging the batteries and actually stepping away from this screen for a little bit. So the first bit is the intention. The second bit is what are the 3 key focal areas that I've got for the day? So what are the 3 areas that I want to focus on today? So it might often I'll have something work related, something personal related, and perhaps something health related. Okay, so that's a few ideas. What are your 3 focal areas? If you've got nothing else done today, would be a success if we focused on these areas. And then the final part for me is about what am I grateful for? So I will write, and it's funny, I used to start with writing 3 things that I was grateful for. And now I always ensure it's over 20. And I'm doing this thing that I've been building up over the last kind of couple of weeks, 20, 21, 22, 23. And it actually really focuses me on all the great stuff in my life. And I couple that with a gratitude meditation. And then really at the beginning of that day, that kind of supercharges my energy, if you like, around what's going on in my life that's really, really good. So it's a little bit of an insight into what my journaling practice looks like. Whatever time of the day that you do this at, it can be really, really effective. I often can describe journaling as kind of bookending your day. So starting your day, 5 minutes, just write down these kind of focal points, but also to end your day, it can be a really good reflective practice. So often, especially when people are working at home, struggling to maybe shut down or shut off from work, and it can be quite a nice way to just not cut down your day, but shut down your day. And I'm going to just share some questions that often can be good to help you to do that as well, because I think questions in journaling are really, really important. So for me, the first question is, what worked really well today? So if you were to think of at least 3 things, what worked really, really well today? The second is, what would have made it even better if? So something that's a bit of a stretch for you, a bit of a challenge, something that you could have stepped into there. And also in that kind of closure to the day, I often get people to write down what they're grateful for as well. So again, it's that just making sure that we're getting real perspective, especially right now when we can be getting on that hamster wheel and be going down that spiral, and be getting focused on the more negative stuff, trickier when it's darker, makes us feel maybe not as energized because we're not getting as much sunlight too, or we're not maybe as outside as much, but actually writing down what are we grateful for as well. Another bonus question I would say for that final part of the day is, what are you wrestling with? And you could ask this at the beginning of the day as well, but what are you wrestling with? And this is a really interesting question, because one of the things that I really love about journaling is, for some reason, when you've got a pen in hand, different stuff comes out to what would come out of your mouth if you were asked that question. So it's like it's tapping into some of your subconscious thoughts. Really interesting part for me when I write down what I'm wrestling with, because it helps identify different things for maybe me to focus on and to find solutions for as well. So it kind of becomes your little problem solving technique as well in terms of journaling. So that's a little bit of an overview about what you might want to consider for the end of the day as well. I've also got a few questions that I've kind of written down here, which are around confidence. So let me just get these up on the screen so that I can share them with you. 2 seconds. Interested, for those of you that are online at the moment, are you journaling at the moment? Type in the comments box and just let me know. So confidence questions in terms of journaling. When have I been most confident? When am I least confident at the moment? And what can I do differently to boost my confidence? Now, these maybe feel like they could be a little bit repetitive if we continue them over time, but actually having that really positive focus on your confidence, what you focus on, you'll see more of. So you'll see more opportunities to bring in that lens of confidence for you. Also, in terms of kind of stretch questions that I've got here, it's another way of looking at it. You can look at your habits overall when you're journaling. So what positive habits or negative habits have I been undertaking this week too? So just looking at that can be really quite interesting. Something that I noticed for myself over the last couple of months probably is that working at home more, my eating habits weren't as positive as they could be or they have been. So that's been something that I've been really looking to address over the last couple of weeks too. And it's interesting because it's helped me to reflect on actually each winter it's often the same cycle. So what can I do slightly differently to just inject a bit more energy, and rather than go into that default negative habit of the kind of comfort eating. Stretch question I mentioned already that I've talked about is, what am I wrestling with? But also adding on the question, what can I do about it? And the final bit there, who do I need to communicate more with? Who do I need to communicate more effectively with? And how and when will I do this? And this is a really interesting one that can really help your relationships overall. Great to see you back, James. I can see your comment there. So trying to journal but finding it hard to remember to do it at the end of the day. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where maybe putting a little reminder in your calendar can be quite useful. Again, setting an alarm on your phone sometimes to create that reminder and that stop point as well. Might be worth changing up when you journal. I really like doing it at the start of the day, so might be worth giving that a shot. And what I would say is start really small. So in James Clear's book that I've talked about a number of times, Atomic Habits, he talks about start so small that you would not do it. So say, give yourself a minute a day that you're going to journal and do that consistently for a week, and then build that up a couple of minutes, 3 minutes. I would say around 5 minutes is an effective time. Rather than saying, oh, you know what, I've got to spend half an hour and actually I'm knackered at the end of the day and I just want to switch off my computer or whatever it might be that you're doing, then actually just creating that 1 minute, and it gives you a really good kind of conclusion to your day, start to your day. Or if you want to do it in your kind of lunch break as well, it can kind of break up your day overall as well. So hopefully that's a little bit useful for you there, James. I've got a few other tips here. So same time of day I've talked about. Buying a specific notepad I've also talked about. Also review how you feel after you've done your journaling as well too. And also, if you do your journaling at the beginning of the day, do it before you check into emails. Now that's a challenge because again, we're all attached to these and to our emails as well. So also, it's a really nice way of tagging on different positive routines as well. So if you're journaling, say you've got like a power 15 minutes, 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of exercise and 5 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes to really charge your energy at the end of the day, start of the day, middle of the day. That 15 minutes can give you a huge amount of energy. And it's not that you need to be particularly really pushing yourself in that space. It's just that you need to do it consistently, and that consistency really does create the habit there as well. To also, it's funny because sometimes when we're doing something new, we kind of critique ourselves on it and we think, oh, I'm just no good at journaling, or journaling's just not for me. And it's like anything, it's a practice. But the thing about this is, journaling is only for you. So if today you only write a tiny bit and you're not into it, that's okay, but still do it. And then tomorrow, actually, it might be flowing and you think, you know what, I want to give myself more than 5 minutes. But this is only for you. Nobody else is going to see it. So do not bring judgment into it. It's a bit like when we're practicing meditation or mindfulness. Your thoughts, you'll be distracted, stuff will come in. Actually, let it come in and let it go. Same with this. It's meant to be a really positive habit, so don't kind of judge yourself on it. There's no pressure, no worries around it as well. And something that's been hugely useful for me over time is just noticing the patterns that begin to emerge when you kind of look back maybe over a week or a month, and just seeing it, sometimes the same things emerging, sometimes the same things we're wrestling with emerging, and these would be the things I'd hone in to try and find a positive solution, or maybe speak to somebody else about and get their advice on it too. But just notice what is coming up, and it's a great way to also review if you're looking at the things that have gone really well. Great way to review what's gone really well. Great way to review what you're grateful for as well, and give you that really, really nice perspective too. So these are some of the key things that I really wanted to share today with you around journaling, because it's something that I've done over the last few years, and probably like yourself, James, a couple of years ago, really struggled with the consistency with it. But really putting it into the beginning of my day in an overall morning routine makes it less of a, oh, I need to do journaling. Actually, journaling is just part of my morning routine. that consistency is so key there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm coming up to the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to let you all go and start your day. But I would really encourage you to now, if you've got a couple of minutes to spare, actually just start your journaling now with some of those questions that I mentioned. So a couple more. I mentioned intention, I mentioned your 3 focus areas, but also another question would be, how do you want to show up today? How do you want to show up for the people that are around you, but also for yourself? What are you wrestling with? Talked about. What are you grateful for? I talked about as well. Is there anything concerning you about today? And what might a positive action be to take towards mitigating that concern, if you like, or doing something positive around it? So why not go and try that out now? Great to have you here this morning. Really appreciate your support with these sessions, and hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Take care, everyone. Bye.